press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, continuation of that. In the previous video we have discussed on numerical problems appearing from this chapter for board examination. So the two important relations on which the questions are repeating either in board or even in the entrance. One is mass defect, binding energy and binding energy per nucleon, and you have to have the concept of isotope, isobars, isotones, isomers, mirror nuclei, and also the mass defect relation, binding energy and binding energy per nucleon. Concept of fission and fusion must be known correctly, along with the energy that is emitting by or given by the single nucleus in fission or fusion, along with the power generating in electricity. That relating to power, finding the mass, related questions we have discussed in the board, and similar how this appears, let us see with some sample questions appeared and maybe similar chances questions I taken here. Let us see with the question number 1. Select the pair of isotones from the following nuclei. This was the question appeared in NEET. APMT is nothing but NEET in 2005. You are seeing the first option. First option you are seeing as if 74 minus 30. So it become 74 minus 34 is 40. And another pair in that gallium is 71 minus 31 is also 40. What we did is A minus Z, which is equal to neutron number, must be same to call it as a isotone. Here we got the option number 1 is right, no problem. But what is, you see the second one, what? Z same, 38 Z same, but mass number different. We calling them as Z same, mass number different, as called as a isotopes. If the third one you see 92, mass number same but atomic number different, we are calling them as isobars. And fourth one is different, 40 minus 20, 20 or 16 minus 32, no comparison, a group of nuclei. But there are 3 answers, there may be permutation coming in the future, the same combinations given. First one group is isotones, option number 1 for this question right. If the second one go to the Z same, that are called as isotopes. Whereas in case of third, mass number same, A same, they are calling as isobars. Let us come to the question number 2. Question number 2. 2 stable isotopes of lithium and lithium-7 have respective abundance of, see here, lithium 6 and lithium-7 3 given. Relative abundances are 7.5% and X2 is 92.5%. These isotopes have masses in this some respective AMU respective given. Find the atomic weight of the lithium. When particularly not having a pure atomic weight, so I given you the equation that equal to atomic weight of this group, the mass number of that into abundancy, relative abundancy, you have to add sum of product of mass number and relative abundancy by total abundancy. Denominator is always be 100% when taken the total abundancy. They are in certain percentage. If you taken 100 atoms, meaning is in 100 atoms, lithium 6 is of 7.5%. or lithium-7 is 9.25, or 1000 if you take in 1000, 925 atoms of lithium-7, 75 atoms of lithium-6. So if I take here, A1 is a 6 into 7.5 plus 92.5 into 7 divided by 92.5 plus 7.5. 6 5s are 30, 45 plus 7 2s are 14, 7 3 14 1, 43, 63 plus 1, 64. If you add these two, 0.5, 5, 7, 12. Sorry, 7, 5, 12, 9 and 6 divided by 100. Divided by 100. This gives you 6.925. The possible answer is 6.925, option number 3. So come to the next question. Abundancy finding, I hope you are followed here. You know the mass numbers and also they are given abundancy. The relation is 100 atoms we are usually calling, but to make easy I told you, out of 1000, 75 atoms of lithium 6 and 25 atoms of lithium 7. When we taken together, atomic weight may be obtained knowing the mass number and their relative abundancy. If not only to any number, you can use the same relation and get the answer. Let us come to the question number 3. The radius of germanium nuclide is measured to be twice that of radius of beryllium. So that means germanium nuclei radius is 2 times that given nuclide measured to be twice that of radius of beryllium. Twice radius of beryllium. If so, the number of nucleons in germanium are, number of nucleons in means Ag how much? That means number of nucleons in germanium means mass number. And knowing this already given beryllium, mass number of beryllium they given is 9. What relation we have to use to get the relation is R is equal to R naught A to the power of 1 by 3. You know that relation. So ratio if I take A of germanium to that of beryllium can be written as R of germanium to R of beryllium to the power of cube, because A power 1 by 3 I related. Ag equal to 9 into Rg is 2 times of Rb divided by Rb to the power of cube. Rb cancels, so 8, 9 into 8 becomes 72. 72 is the option number 4. It was the question appeared in 2006. I hope using this relation, standard equation, we taken this ratio and got the answer as 72. Coming to the next. Next question, the number of nucleus of aluminium 27 has the nuclear radius of about, so it has nuclear radius of about 3.6 Fermi, having mass number of aluminium is 27. Titanium given 125 has mass number 125, asking would have its radius approximately. Radius of titanium is how much? See, the second question I am taking in the same relation R naught A to the power of 1 by 3. The questions coming from this. So it was appeared in different years. In NEET paper 2007 or 2012 or 2005. So radius ratio, I want radius of titanium knowing that of aluminium is mass number of titanium to mass number of aluminium to the power of 1 by 3. From that relation I can directly write. RT is equal to 3.6 in Fermi as it is, 125 by 27 to the power of 1 by 3, which is nothing but 3.6 into 5 by 3. 12 times 12 5 is 6, therefore RT is equal to 6 Fermi. 6 Fermi, possible answer is the second one. If you know that relation, directly can be obtained from this. An appeared important question. Come to the next one. Next question appeared in 2015 NEET. Aluminium nucleus, again the same titanium, but the question asked pattern changed. You have to write exactly in the form of the same. Titanium 125 52 and aluminium 2713. The just comparison of radius is asking, that of the nucleus nearly. So you want radius of titanium with respect to that of aluminium is AT by A aluminium to the power of 1 by 3. So ratio is questioned, therefore you can write here titanium radius equal to AT is 125 divided by that of is 27 to the power of 1 by 3 into radius of aluminium. RT is equal to 5 by 3 of radius of aluminium. 5 by 3 radius of aluminium, option number 4. The same repeated question, but asked pattern change a little bit. Come to the next question. Find the volume of magnesium 2412. 2412 nucleus in meter cube. So the question is on finding the volume of a nucleus. Remember, this nucleus is in the spherical form. Volume can be determined by 4 pi 3 pi r cube. Again the same relation, if I substitute here, pi into r naught a to the power of 1 by 3 whole cube. 4 into pi by 3 into 1.2 10 power minus 15 Fermi 1.2 Fermi cube into mass number is 24 because it become A. So pi approximately I cancel and write 4 into 24 into 12 square is 1.44 into 1.4 into 10 power minus 45. So 4, if I made it simple, 1.5 rounding off, 1.54 is 6. 6 into this, if I did 6 into 24, 6 4s are 24, 6 2 are 12 plus 4, 144. So 1.56 24 into 1.4 into 10 power minus 45. If I write this 14 multiplying by 14, 56, 56 plus 5, 61, and 14 plus 5, around 19. So the answer coming to be, 144. Sorry, not 4 2s are 4 4s are 16. 4 4s are 6, no, 6 4s are 24. 6 2s are 12. Okay, approximately coming to be 10 power minus 45. Here 1 point I kept. Around coming approximation 1.9 into 10 power minus 43. But the given standard, however, 1.73 you can write as 1.73 into 10 power minus 43 is the answer. So that is what the answer here, option number 1. Is a calculation simplification technique, but formula is this. R is same relation, but asked here the volume. Question is on radius of the nucleus, but volume determination. Simplification technique you have to follow correctly. Coming to the next. Next question, the nucleus disintegrate into nuclear parts having their velocities in the ratio. Velocities in the ratio 2:1. 2:1. The ratio of their nuclear size means radius, R1 by R2 quotient. A single nucleus, it was at rest earlier, broken into two parts and moving in opposite directions. That means law of conservation of momentum should valid to get the radius concept I am talking here. So that idea should develop when velocity given that related to the momentum when they broken into pieces and running. Two nucleus, disintegration after, which suggests that velocity ratio is equal to m2 by m1. m2 by m1, and another concept you remember here, it is related with various conceptual idea. The density is the same. For any nucleus, density same means volume difference. That I can write here M2 by M1 as volume into density, V2 by V1 as coming to volume concern. Volume is R cube, 4 by 3 pi R cube. Therefore, I can write R2 by R1 to the power of cube. You want R1 by R2 means, so this reverse V2 by V1 to the power of 1 by 3, R1 by R2. If you want R1 by R2, V2 by V1 to the power of 1 by 3, this related to velocity. So velocity ratio given V1 by V2, V2 by V1 is 1 by 2 to the power of 1 by 3, which is 1 by 2 to the power of 1 by 3. So the option number 4. Option number 4, you understood here they given velocity, radius ratio asking, for this density same, and another concept we bring is when the nucleus disintegrate, the momentum of the two daughter nucleus formed must be same. According to that, velocity ratio is inverse with mass, inverse with volume, and inversely with radius, because volume into density, volume is R2 cube. Under that we got a relation and obtained the answer. Fourth one is the right one. Coming to the next question number 8. Two nuclei have their mass numbers in the ratio 1:3. Mass number. Question number 8. Mass number means A1 by A2 is 1:3. The ratio of their nuclear density should be, one thing, nuclear density, conceptual question, nuclear density rho is independent of Z or A. Therefore, the ratio of density rho 1 to rho 2 is 1:1. No difference at all. Appeared in APMT 2008. Option number 1. Option number 1. Come to the next one. An unstable heavy nucleus breaks into two nuclei which move away with velocities in the ratio of 8:27. Previously appeared like JE 2018. So the questions, how they repeats with same concepts you can understand. 8:27 velocity ratio, 8:27. Then the ratio of the radii of the nuclei, you want radius R1 by R2, you come to know V2 by V1, because velocity is inversely proportional to mass, inversely proportional to volume, and inversely proportional to radius. Now I changed my tricks to come to fast conclusion. Because I discussed previously this in the previous question. So they given V2 by V1 27 by 8 to the power of 1 by 3. So this is 1 by 3, which become 3 by 2. 3:2 must be the answer. 3:2, option number 3. Go to the next. In the reaction, see the question number 10, in the reaction, H21 plus H31 leading to He42 plus neutron. If the binding energy of H1, H3, H2 are respectively A, B, C in mega electron volts, then the energy in mega electron volt released in this reaction is. So the two are combined to form a heavy nucleus. So usually an heavy nucleus is formed, its binding energy is higher than combining nuclei. So however, this they told it is A, H12 as A, H12, H31 as B, and this is C. So now you search the answer, C is higher, binding energy is higher, minus of these two, C minus A minus B, or C minus of A plus B must be the answer. But here they given this answer, why I taken C? You know that binding energy of this is higher than these two. Therefore, C minus A minus B is the right option, number 3. Coming to the next. Conceptual question on binding energy curve. Coming to the binding energy of deuterium is 2.2 MeV. Binding energy of deuterium is 2.2 MeV. And helium is 28 MeV. 28 MeV. If two deuterons are fused to form helium nucleus, that means H21 plus H21 is leading to He42. Then the energy released, this was the question appeared in 2 years 2006 and 2003. So the two combined. So two combined, and what is the energy released? Energy released equal to so it is helium nucleus, energy of helium nucleus minus 2 into energy of deuterium nucleus. 28 minus 2 into 2.2. Better if you not understand, you can write like this for your easiness to subtract. So this becomes 6 and this is 23 mega electron volt should be the answer. So I told you this is having more stable compared to these two. This have higher binding energy than this. Therefore, it will have a better mass defect positive. Higher the binding energy, mass defect is also higher. Answer is here second one. Come to the next. The binding energy per nucleon in deuterium and helium nuclei. Binding energy per nucleon in deuterium and helium nuclei is 1.1 for deuterium and 7 MeV for helium per nucleon. When two deuterium nuclei fuse to form helium nucleus, similar question, H21 plus H21 leading to He42, helium formed. The energy released in fusion is, so this is per nucleon, you know, it is having 2. So therefore, first find out energy released means, I can write directly this per nucleon given 4 into 7.7 minus the 2 into 2 into 2.2. Per nucleon, per member is 2 into 2.2 and 2 nuclei therefore together. This becomes 28.28 minus 4, 4 2s are 8, 4 2s are 8, 8.8. So if I subtracted here 8.80, so 8 out of 8 is same, that becomes 4, 2.2 per nucleon, 4 into 2.0, 1.1, sorry. Answer is 1.1. This changes. Here they given 1.1 for per nucleon. 4 it's become 4.40. 8 as it is. 12 4 8. 12 4 8 and this 23. Approximately they given it is around 23.6 mega electron volt. So you got answer is fourth one. Coming to the next. Pick the incorrect statement. Ames means, you know that Ames 2013, neutron is less stable than proton. Incorrect statement. A free proton can emit beta particle. Neutron can cause fission in nuclear reactor, but proton cannot. A bound proton can emit beta particle. Proton inside the nucleus is called as a bound proton, which is able to give, because there is a meson particles inside the nucleus which creates the field interaction and causes the breakdown of the proton and converting into a neutron and a positive beta particle. Therefore, fourth option is right. Neutron can cause fission in nuclear reactor, but protons cannot. The neutron easily, because the energy necessary thermal neutrons around 0.025 MeV is available, enough minimum energy. Protons need much higher energy since they are positive charged particles. Whereas neutrons are almost neutral particles. Without electrical interaction, they can enter into the nucleus and break down of the uranium or any heavy nucleus. But proton cannot do so. Therefore, that is also the right one. And neutron is less stable than proton, because comparatively when you see the neutron and proton, neutron is heavier particle wants to become lighter by losing energy in the mass in the form of energy. Therefore, neutron is no doubt less stable, even it cannot be stable outside the nucleus. A free proton can emit beta particle cannot be possible, because I told you out of neutron and proton is lighter. It cannot become lighter with the neutron, therefore it appears to be more stable outside the nucleus. Free proton is a outside nucleus, cannot emit the beta particle. Therefore, the wrong statement is the second one. A free proton cannot undergo decay or it cannot emit beta particle outside the nucleus. Therefore, option number 2. Come to the next. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Ames question 2013. Nuclear forces are always attractive. Nuclear forces are spin dependent. Is no parallel spin are more stronger than anti-parallel spin. Nuclear forces are stronger than combination Coulombian force of distance of femtometer. Within femtometer, nuclear forces are stronger. It is quite natural. Within the nucleus, nuclear forces are very stronger. Within femtometer means within nucleus. That is also right. Nuclear forces are repulsive at a less than 0.8 femtometer. This also cleared you. Nuclear force usually we say attractive. Usually we say attractive. If you consider the radius of the nucleus, it seems to be attractive in this region. When it goes to very small region, the radius equal to r 1/3. 1/3 of radius inside the nucleus. There is a repulsion starts from hardcore forces. The nuclear attractive force cannot continue as attractive within a very small space in the central region of the nucleus. It is called acting as starts repelling. It starts repelling. Therefore, the first option is wrong. Fourth one is right. Nuclear forces always attractive. What we say, it is wrong. It can be attractive up to certain distance within the nucleus, irrespective of the nature of the charge or independent without charge also. Neutral particle or maybe charged particle or uncharged particles, they are attractive. But within that, with the same nature, it starts repelling. It also repels you in the small range having radius less than 1/3. Therefore, the first option is the wrong one. Right, next. The binding energy per nucleon given 5.6 MeV and 7.6 for the helium. In the nuclear reaction, the value of energy released. It was appeared in 2004 or 2014 and 2006. Binding energy per nucleon is given. Let us write the equation they given here, that H11 plus He42 plus leading to, lithium, it is 3 lithium. Lithium 73 plus this leading to He42 plus He42 plus Q. That the binding energy per nucleon, lithium is 5.6 and that of helium is 7.06. That confusion may happen sometimes. So now your binding energy released is nothing but this 4. So first you find mass of reaction, reactants, or energy of the reactant minus energy of the product. Energy of the product is higher, they are combined and this released. More energy. EP if you want, that equal to 2 into 4 into 7.06, correction made, 7.06 of the helium. So this 8 into 7.06, 56.8. Similarly, if you get ER, that equal to 5.6 into 7. 39.2. Therefore, energy difference equal to 56.48 minus 39.2. 8271 mega electron volt. So you got the answer. So that answer is 7.3, 17.3 given. So always, if you see the value of these two and these two are combined, lithium and together, it is the reactant value. Reactant value is 39.2. For this value is helium 4 2 atoms 2 multiply 7.06, given you fix 6.8. Product is always have higher energy than reactant because they are less stable, it is more stable. Therefore, I taken the difference and got the answer. Come to the next one. If M0 is the mass of an oxygen isotope, MP and Mn are the masses of the proton and neutrons respectively. The nuclear binding energy of the isotope is, it is a JE equivalent paper 2007. They given mass of oxygen isotope MP and Mn are the masses of the proton and neutrons respectively. 16th question. Oxygen 17.8, and you know this 17 minus 8 is 9. Neutron number, mass number, it is atomic number. So you are writing about the energy. Binding energy you are writing as ZMP minus plus A minus Z into Mn minus Mn of the nucleus into C square in this case. So that 8 MP plus 9 Mn minus M0, mass of the nucleus, into C square. It is of mass of protons 8 and mass of 9 neutrons and mass of oxygen nucleus. The answer available is the second one. Coming to the next. A nucleus of mass M plus delta M plus delta M is at rest and decays into two daughter nuclei of equal masses M by 2 and M by 2. Decay into two M by 2 masses, each speed of light is c. The speed of daughter nucleus is. So when you looking this equation, these two masses generated from this, you can use the Einstein's relation along with that. These two nuclei when formed, they travel in opposite directions with these masses, means their momentum must be same, masses same, M by 2 and M by 2 same, implies their velocity also same. Velocity also same, because momentum must be same, they have to follow the law of conservation of energy. And momentum, law of conservation of momentum must be satisfied, mass same, velocity same, since momentum must be same. Then this mass, if you delete, this will be converted into energy equivalent of that. That means delta M into C square must be equal to kinetic energy of individuals, half M by 2 into V square plus half into M by 2 into V square. So half of plus that become M by 2 into V square. If you want V, 2 into delta M, divided by capital M into root with C. The possible answer. C, root 2 delta M by M. Option number C. Third one, sorry. I think you have followed the energy conversion that should satisfy for these two. Delta M C square is the kinetic energy available for both. Energy conservation should hold good. This total mass is appeared here and remaining is converted into energy. Delta M is converted into energy that must be available as kinetic energy for the two particles. And when they broken, momentum created must be same, mass must be are same they given, therefore velocities must be same. Therefore, I taken this energy must be equal to sum of the kinetic energy of the two particles daughter nuclei is formed. That give you the answer C 2 delta M by M. Third, it was appeared in AEEE 2010. Come to the next one. The following is a plot of binding energy per nucleon. EB against the nuclear mass M, A, B, C, D, E, F corresponds to different nuclei. Consider the four reactions. So you are seeing the question number 18. So the graph is given to you. Mass number versus CSB binding energy per nucleon. Curve is of this form. So A and here it is B and then almost C coming to D and E and F. They are given the four options where E is the energy released, in which reaction E is positive. Positive energy released. If we have the picture of SB, it is more clear. If the mass number is lying between 30 to 170, stable and have higher binding energy where its value is 8 MeV and above. In such cases, when these combined, then they formed a nucleus of heavier one, energy released will be positive. Or even in this case, if these combined and returning to this position, positive. If you are going reverse, negative it becomes. That means if you are coming towards C to B to A, energy negative. Here also if you go D to E to F, energy negative. But F broken getting D, you will get energy released. Again AB combined giving C, here A plus B going to C, energy positive. Here F breakdown and forming D and E, energy positive. So see the answers. A plus B giving C, right. C breaking C, A plus B cannot be possible, leave it, negative energy comes. D plus E, again not possible, negative energy. F breakdown and forming B, that is what I shown later. It is a fission reason, it is a fusion reason. So therefore A and D are the correct. Therefore the option number 1 is right. This corresponds to D, this corresponds to A. Coming to the next. The nucleus of uranium decay at the rest into nuclei of thorium and helium then. So nucleus of uranium decay into rest into the nuclei of thorium and helium. Uranium 23592 going to thorium 23490 plus helium, they are saying, giving that relation. Helium nucleus has less kinetic energy than the thorium nucleus. Helium nucleus has more kinetic energy than the thorium nucleus. The helium nucleus has more momentum than the thorium nucleus. Helium nucleus has less momentum. Third and fourth are wrong because when the breakdown created these two, they may be moving in opposite directions but their momentum must be same. Momentum same, kinetic energy you take P square by 2m. Which is having less mass have more kinetic energy. Less mass have more kinetic energy. Here helium is carrying less mass compared to thorium. Therefore kinetic energy of thorium must be higher. Thorium must be less helium must be larger because mass of helium is less, kinetic energy is more. Therefore, the option number 2. I hope you are understood. It's conceptual question. When a uranium break down into two nuclei, the two nuclei generated have the same momentum. Take the kinetic energy expression more clear. Mass less, more kinetic energy. Helium and thorium compared, helium have less mass. Therefore, it is having more kinetic energy. Option number 2, helium nucleus has more kinetic energy than thorium nucleus. See, again it is a conceptual question, AIPMT NEET paper 2008. MPMN denotes the mass of the nucleus, proton and neutrons respectively in the units of the given, and the binding energy in the MeV. Then binding energy equation, if I write generally binding energy equation, you come to know that Z into MP plus A minus Z into Mn minus M of Az. It is the equation. Energy if it is multiplied by C square. Right? Now if I brought B this side, BE by C square, 20th question, BE by C square is ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn minus MAZ. This they interchanged. MAZ is equal to ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus binding energy by C square. So more clear their answer available. ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus BEC square, option number 2. The relation is this basic. It is mass defect into C square gives you the binding energy. Binding energy by C square gives you this idea. Interchanging the two terms. You got the answer. Let go. So again similar question. 21 MAZ, it was appeared in 2007. MPMN denotes the mass of the nucleus, proton and neutron respectively in the unit of that. Binding energy represents the binding energy in MeV then. So directly you can understand what we discussed earlier. Binding energy equal to ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn minus M into Az into C square. Option number 1 is the right one out of the given. Out of the given, correct one is the first one. Go to the next. Binding energy per nucleon of helium, 22. Binding energy per nucleon of helium, the given is 7.07 mega electron volt. Find the mass defect. Delta M is how much? This is the question appeared in NEET 2016. So here mass defect, binding energy per nucleon given. Binding energy can be written as delta M into 931, maybe 0.5 leave it. Now if you want delta M means binding energy means 7.07 into helium has 4 mass numbers, 4 divided by 931, 28.28 by 931, or I can write it as 228, 28 into 10 power minus 2 divided by 931. If I made it 0, cancel and make it point. 9 by 28, 9 3s are 27. That means 3 into 10 power minus 2, approximated to 0.03 AMU. The answer available is first one. Coming to the next. Binding energy equal to delta M into 931 relation, the question appeared. In the process of nuclear fission of 1 gram of uranium, 1 gram of uranium converts delta M, mass is 1 gram, 0.9 milligram is effective conversion into energy. The efficiency of the powerhouse of the fission reactor is 20%. 20 by 100 equal to 1 by 5%. To obtain 400 megawatt of power, 400 megawatts is equal to 4 into 10 power 8 joules per second. That much of energy required per hour. How many powerhouse? From the powerhouse, how much uranium required per hour? You have to calculate the actual uranium mass required. Here the given power efficiency, you have to find out the delta M. So per second this much of energy is generating. For 1 hour, T is equal to 1 hour, 60 into 60 seconds. So total energy estimate first. Total energy is power into time. That 4 into 10 power 8 into 36 into 10 power 2. If I made 1.44 to 10 to 12, 10 power 12, because this become 144. If I brought 2, it is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. This much of joules generated. Delta M estimate from using the relation delta M is equal to energy required for 1 hour divided by C square. 1.44 into 10 power 12 by C square, 3 into 10 power 8 whole square, 9, 16, 16 cancel 12 minus 4, 9, 0.9 ones are 9, 5, 0.16 into 10 power minus 4 kg, minus 4 kg, or 0.16 into 10 power minus 3 if I cancel minus 1 gram. This is the delta M answer we got. That mass which is necessary to run the reactor for 1 hour under 400 megawatts capacity. But you are given M is equal to 1 gram leads to 0.9 milligram actual conversion. If so, what is the mass required to have? 0.016 gram. So this how much? M dash equal to 1 into 16 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 0.9 into 10 power minus 3 milligram. If I made it 9, it become 10 power minus 4. Minus 4 taken to the numerator become 160 by 9. 160 is 9 ones are. 9 ones are remains with 70. 17 point something. Answer available is 1 gram 0.9 milligram, right? 0.16 delta M 9, right? 0.1016 9. Oh, efficiency forgotten. Here it is 10 power minus 12. Efficiency 20%. I correct here. Efficiency is 20% means 1 by 5. This is energy output by energy input. Energy input equal to 1 by 5. Denominator comes, output is 1.44 into 10 power 12 into 5. Efficiency if you return. This become 5 4s are 20, 5 4s are 20 plus 2, 22, 720. 7.2 into 10 power 12. 7.2 into 10 power 12. So correction I made here. ET is equal to 7.22 into 10 power 12 by 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. 7.22 by 9 into 10 power 1612 is minus 4. 9 keep as it is. Helpful to us, let us see. It is in kg, or I can write it as 7.22 by 9 into 10 power minus 1 gram. 1 gram convert to 0.9 milligram. Therefore, m dash required how much for 7.22 by 9 into 10 power minus 1 gram? M dash is equal to 7.22 into 10 power minus 1 into 1 by 9 into 0.9 into 10 power minus 3. If it is made minus 4, if it is made minus 4 become plus 4, plus 4, 1 plus 3, plus 3 can be written 7220 divided by 9 into 9, 9 8 za, if I write here 9 8 za 72, 0, again 2200, 7, maybe 2 like that, divided by 9, this goes to 88 gram. So approximately you got 88 gram. What I made here, efficiency we have not taken earlier, assume this completely. First get energy total required output is 400 megawatts. In 1 hour this much of energy releases. But output energy is this. Efficiency only 20% means 1/5 of the input energy. Therefore, input energy is 5 times of the output energy. That is equal to 7.20. So that you have to find out delta M. We got delta M value this. Delta M once you got 1 gram out of that 0.9 milligram only using means what is the mass actually converts. That is equal to 88 gram. Answer appears. Coming to the next one. In the nuclear fusion reaction, they given that repulsive potential energy between the nuclei is about 7.7 into 10 power 14 joules minus 14 joules. The temperature at which the gases must be heated to initiate the reaction is nearly given Boltzmann constant 1.38 into 10 power 23 minus joules per Kelvin appeared in 2003 JEE paper. Once K is introduced means they represent the gas term. You know 3 by 2 kT energy equal to the energy supplied. Gas theory from which you got. Now you want temperature. Temperature equal to 2 into 7.7 into 10 power minus 14 divided by 3 into 1.38 into 10 power 23 minus. So 3 2s are 1.38. This fraction you think about later because already the powers they are not given the fractional values. Minus 23 plus 23 by 14 is 10 power 9 Kelvin. You have the answer 10 power 9 Kelvin, option number 3. Can take next. NEET 2011. The power obtained in a reactor using uranium-235 disintegrate is 1000 kilowatt. Mass decay of uranium-235 per hour is. So again it is the question number 25. So the given power generated is 1000 kilowatt. That is 10 power 6 watts. For 1 hour, 1 hour required. For 1 hour energy total is 10 power 6 into 60 into 60. 36 into 10 power, right, 36 into 10 power 8 joules. The question is about what is the mass decay of uranium-235 uranium-235. Let us see the answer sometimes available with the second step. Mass required is mc square. It is in 36 into 10 power 8 divided by 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. So if I take other side, it is 36 into 10 power 8 by 9 into 10 power 16. Mass energy relation E equal to mc square we use because no other values they given here. So it is equal to 4. 4 into 10 power minus 8 kg or 4 into 10 power minus 5 gram or 40 into 10 power minus 6 gram or 40 microgram. 40 microgram. So answer is the fourth one. So calculate the total energy required for 1 hour dividing by c square. Dividing by c square given the mass 40 microgram. So you get 40 into 10 power minus 5 gram kg to gram. Then come to 10 power minus 6 gram 40 microgram. Option 4. Come to the next one. A certain mass of hydrogen is changed to helium by the process of fusion. The mass defect in fusion reaction is 0.0286 U. The average energy liberated per mass unit, NEET 2013. So you have a certain mass of hydrogen is changed to helium by the process of fusion. The mass defect is given. 26 mass defect is 0.0286 AMU. The energy liberated per unit per mass number, that is binding energy per mass number, delta M into 931 divided by A. Delta M is already, I can write it is 0.3 approximately, and this I can make it as a 900 for simplification. And certain mass of hydro changed to helium by the process of fusion. So the mass of that helium, that is 4 approximately 27 by 4 6.675 MeV directly can be written. So 4 members of hydrogen given that option number 26.67 MeV is second one. I think you are understood. Delta M given, you approximated 931, we are made it simple 900. 4 members, 4 hydrogen nuclei combined to produce 1 helium plus 2 positrons plus energy like. Therefore, we have divided by 4 and we got the answer. Coming to the next. A nucleus of mass m plus delta m is at rest and decays into daughter nuclei of equal masses m by 2 each. Speed of light is c. Binding energy per nucleon for the parent nucleus is E1 and that of the daughter nucleus is U2. Then, one thing I given you clearly, AEEE 2010, daughter nuclei are always be stronger than parent nuclei. That means their binding energy is higher. That implies option number 4. E2 must be greater than E1. That is, the decay into daughter nuclei which are more stable. E2 is higher than E1. E1 parent nucleus is less stable, less binding energy. Come to the next. Fission of nuclei possible because the binding energy per nucleon in then AAPMT 2005 increase with mass number at high mass numbers. Increases with mass number at high mass numbers. Why the fission of nucleus possible? The reason required. Increase with mass number at high mass numbers not possible. Binding energy at high mass numbers goes on, decreases. Decrease with mass number at high mass numbers, possible answer. Let us see the third. Increase with mass number at low mass numbers. At low mass numbers, increasing binding energy, okay, but that does not cause the fusion. Therefore, third is not the answer. Decrease with mass number at low mass numbers is again wrong. Possible option is the second one. Decrease with mass number at high mass numbers. That fission when possible at high mass numbers decreases. This breakdown and creating the two lighter nuclei which are more stable. Possible option number 2. Coming to the next. In any fission process, the ratio mass of fission products to mass of parent nuclei is 2005. If you look into the answers, fission product and mass of the parent nuclei. Always be parent nuclei must be the largest number than that of the fission. Then only fission process can continue. That means parent nuclei must have larger mass than the fission product. Therefore, n must be less than 1 because fission product should have less mass compared to parent nucleus to carry out the fission process. Therefore, option number 1. When two nuclei with A equal to A join to form a heavier nucleus, binding energy per nucleon of the heavier nucleus is more than the binding energy per nucleon of the lighter nuclei, same as the binding energy per nucleon of the lighter nuclei, less than the binding energy per nucleon of the lighter nuclei, double the binding energy per nucleon of the lighter nuclei. What you are going to see in that? Two lighter nuclei forming a heavy nucleus. The heavy nucleus become more stronger, stable means binding energy of the heavier nuclei is stronger than lighter nuclei. That means they are asking binding energy per nucleon of the heavier nucleus is more than the binding energy of the lighter nuclei. Option number 1 is the right one. Same as cannot be. Less than the binding energy of the lighter nuclei is not possible. The fission process in that case, double cannot be expected. Therefore, the most appropriate answer is the first one. So, we discussed some question samples. When we throw the test, you will understand the questions one by one, but the three more important relations we gone through. One is radius relation, which can be taught in terms of velocity of the daughter nuclei or mass of the daughter nuclei, and mass defect, binding energy per nucleon, and mass defect equation, electric power generated in nuclear fission process related questions. This is the maximum field in which the questions are rotating in nuclear physics. So, with the test you will improve in that. Let us stop at this stage in today's class.